So I don't want to beat a dead horse here with the Leafs, but are we surprised with how far they went? Or are we not surprised? What about with everything happening? Dubas obviously leaving. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a reality TV show with this team, honestly. I grew up here. I'm a huge fan, and I'm super invested in it. It was obviously a huge, monumental win for them against Tampa. Even I was super impressed with that because that's a Stanley Cup back-to-back winning team that they played very well against, but those aren't the results you want, right? Your goal is to not just win the first round every year. Your goal is to win the Stanley Cup. And the effort that they put forward and just the way they looked in the Florida series was so disappointing to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you set goals and you don't reach them, changes have to be made. And I think that Kyle was the first one to go there. Bringing Treliving in, we'll see. He's got Sheldon still there. I thought that might be a change, but Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, these guys are incredible pieces to build around. He scored 60 goals a year removed from that. So I think they still have the pieces there. Expectations will still be high next year. We've got to figure out Matthews' contract, but they're still pretty high for next year.
Well, I read something the other day about Toronto teams being afraid of change.
Yeah, I did. I saw that too.
Do you think that's pretty accurate?
There's a little bit of stubbornness that I think you can see. I'm a big Jays fan too, and it's been a grind for us on that side of it lately. It is something that I think we see. I think Toronto fans also don't have a lot of patience.
Right.
So it's this kind of combination of people wanting change but not letting, you know, things play out maybe as long as you need them to. But I think everything's changed with Vegas winning this year. It showed that you can create a franchise out of thin air and have a championship in 6 years, and this team doesn't have a Stanley Cup since 1967.
Yeah, well, I think that's the most embarrassing thing.
I know. It's just like, I think they put everyone on notice, you know, the management staff there, and you look at it here in Toronto and what we're doing, and it's like, yeah, we want to be patient, but we have to see results if you want to go forward.
Right. So the Seattle Kraken, kind of the same thing. This is their second year?
Yeah, second year.
Made it to the playoffs. How does that vibe for teams like the Leafs, the Canadiens? Even Canadiens were awful this year. How? I
think it's just such a different makeup. Seattle is this team of almost undesirables, right? Teams that were either castaways from their original drafted teams, players that teams had given up on them. Where here you have this disparaging thing in Toronto where Austin Matthews is probably going to be the highest paid player in the league.
Right.
He's going to get whatever the number is, $14-15 million. You got Mitch and John making 11. It's just such a different setup in the locker room. And I can tell you that honestly makes a difference. When you have a group of 20 guys like the Kraken do, where they're playing kind of for one goal every day, there's a culture there where they don't really care about who's taking the credit. They care about the win. And that showed this year. And I got to watch them a lot this year. I did a lot of late games on Sportsnet and got to see their team, and they just grew on me. They work hard. They play the right way. And I know that's kind of a cliche thing to say, but their habits and the way they bring themselves to the rink every day is admirable. And I'll tell you what, the Leafs could learn a thing or two from what they're doing over there in Seattle.
Or many.
Yeah.